Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the second in the three-part series about understanding limited palette. My name is Shuchi and I specialize in painting still life and portrait using oil paints and charcoal. So I pre-created these charts for you and we're going to walk through them one after the other, and they're created in the exact same way I did in the part 1 of this video, where I did this process using yellow ochre and cadmium red. If you haven't checked it out yet, please click on the link in somewhere around here, or I've also provided it in the description box below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please show your love. Just click on that red and white subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you do not miss any of my future updates. So with that, let's get started. So here I have the charts, and we looked at this one last time in part 1 of the video. It has yellow ochre plus cadmium red combination in 2:1, 1:1 and 1:2. In this video, we are going to look at cadmium red mixed with black, and then later to black mixed with yellow ochre. Black in this case is our Ivory Black, which is acting as a blue. So we have 3 primaries: yellow ochre, cadmium red and black. Let's first talk about cadmium red, which in this case as compared to black is a warm color. You can see that I have created a value strip here, just like I did previously for the other colors. Next, I mix it with 2:1 proportion, where I take 2 parts of cadmium red and 1 part of black. And we see that it looks purple. You also see that the more black we mix, the cooler the purple is compared to the previous one. So you see that here I start mixing more and more black, and this one and this value scale is more cooler compared to the first one. You look at the last column here, and if you ignore this part, you will see that this looks like a very grayed out color, a washed out color, as compared to these 2 purples. But as soon as I add this black and the value scale for the black, you will see that this column starts to look warmer as compared to the black value scale. So you see, it's so interesting to notice that we can create all these purples just by using our cadmium red and black. And these are some amazing, very interesting and very harmonious colors. If you would like to achieve a higher level of vibrancy, just like you see in this cadmium red, if you want to have a higher level of purples or higher level of vibrancies with the greens, then definitely you have to change your primary color. For example, in case of yellow ochre, you can always use a cadmium yellow, and in case of cadmium red, you can of course stick with cadmium red, or if you want a cooler version of it than a warmer red, you can always go for the magentas or like permanent rose, just to see what kind of purple it creates. And for black, you can always substitute it with ultramarine blue or viridian to get those higher intensity colors as compared to the ones we have here. Finally, let's look at black. So black mixed with yellow ochre, which is like say blue mixed with yellow, creates a green. And you will see all these 3, like if you look at these 3 rows, you will see the different kind of greens that we can create. In this case, we move from cooler greens to warmer greens. These charts can thus help you in color mixing and in better understanding your palette. Now we covered the top section, let's also look at the bottom section here. And this is just a variation of the top with the tint of the 3rd color added. And you know that when we add 3 primary colors, we get grays. But this chart shows us that we can get different types of grays. So let's look at it. So the first one, where I have yellow ochre, here I have mixed a tint of black with it. And it is very small amount, so that just the color is changed from yellow to a green, or like it's no more a yellow. Like when you look at the strip, you say, yeah, it looks like a yellow, but not entirely yellow. Maybe there's a slight bit of blue in it. So that's the state we want to get through with this chart. And I did the same with the remaining 3 columns, where I mixed cadmium red and black in the same proportion as above, and then I mixed a slight bit of yellow ochre to this. The amount of yellow ochre is not the same as the amount of other 2 pigments that I mix. It has to be very slight so that it just changes the temperature or the color. I did the same with the 3rd row, which is I mixed black with cadmium red, And so it creates some kind of purple, but it's not going to be as purple as this one because the proportion of cadmium red that I mixed is not the same as what I did here. And then for the remaining 3 columns, I kept my black and yellow ochre and I mixed a slight bit of cadmium red to the remaining 3. And you can see they have the same greens as above, but when you look at it, it looks like more like reddish green. It's not like pure green. You'll say it looks like gray if you just look at one of the swatches. You'll say it's a gray. But when you look at all of these, they are grays, but they are neutrals. They are colorful neutrals. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'm gonna see you in the last and final part in the series where I'll walk you through this head study using the color charts that we created. So until next time, happy painting, and let's keep inspiring each other.